Hi everyone, this is Sovereign Key. I'm Laura Leon. Just some thoughts regarding what many of us are experiencing with the sense of dream hacking that has become far worse, memory swipes, which has also escalated, and reality deletion, which has been occurring. So it's not just about collapsing timelines in compression and phasing in and out, past, present, future. It's actually about the quantum reality matrix, simulation software, anomalous antimatter technology that has created destabilization and also is literally erasing history, erasing time, erasing reality and our version of previous realities. So we're seeing a huge destabilizing effect, which goes beyond the dismantling of illusions and the tears that are happening throughout the fabric of reality here. And that includes tears in the magnetosphere and just general destabilization of all physics. And the quantum anomalies are creating a, I'm just going to call it a black hole energy vortex. I just don't know any other way to put it. So this vortex is also causing the Mandela effect to continually be changed and altered. So that isn't consistent either. And we're seeing the changes that are occurring all the time. And I wanted to discuss the Earth, for example, the map of the Earth. There's a lot to go into, so I'll just kind of recap a few things. From what I have noticed, the map of the Earth has changed dramatically and keeps changing and is not consistent. So the changes are not staying that way. Now, a few years ago, I did a video that was discussing how we're being inserted into different versions of quantum reality spaces. So this has continued to happen. The old primary Earth is no longer. Now there is the second one. Now there's the third one. And this has been something that has continued to occur. And I explained how with the quantum reality technology, it is essentially manifesting, creating spaces, new dimensional spaces, if you will, with black energy, dark matter, to essentially place us and reinsert us continually in different versions. Each one of them is more synthetic, making it more difficult for the reals to keep their original version of reality. And now with the deletions of reality, we're witnessing some really bad effects as a result of this destabilization. So the map of the old Earth, Earth 1, it isn't anywhere to be found anymore. In the past, you could find actually old maps discussing the Mandela effect of the old Earth, and now they're not even there anymore. So as per how manifestation works here and how they're using co-consciousness creation, if we do not manifest the real versions in the 3D reality, if we do not replace the counterfeit and the counterfeit version reality systems based on the cube infinity systems of the Ouroboros labyrinth systems, if we do not replace it with the real versions that we remember, they're going to continue to delete reality. And this means that they're deleting the memory and the tracing for the reals of their original timeline. And that is allowing for deeper levels of the counterfeit system to be replacing anything left of the original. The science behind how they're using quantum mechanics through co-creation is complex, and I don't want to complicate it. But what I want to say is that we all need to be able to bring through the real versions of what we remember. If we don't retain the memory in the manifested state of reality in 3D here of our original realm, of our original earth and dimension and universe, infinite verse, if we do not retain that, and if we do not retain specifics, the aim is to delete everything so that what is replacing what is real and what your memories are to you and what is real is the synthetic version. This is the holographic quantum machine technology that intends on basically absorbing all consciousness of the reals and the primes and replacing it with the artificial version in a very infinitely trapping system, cutting off the ability to connect with spirit and to connect with the origin point of all that we are. So this is actually quite serious, and we need to fight for our consciousness, for remembering the original memories to what was a reality that is very different from this, with a yellow sun that had a beautiful hue on everything. You know, I'm seeing and I'm noticing that it, for all appearances, and I have no science to back this up, but it appears like a third of all things have, they're not here. A third of the wildlife, a third of all fauna, a third of all the insects, a third of all the birds, a third of all the animals. This is not in any way, shape, or form normal. So I'd like to suggest to everyone that they try and remember the first Terrah, specifics about it, to look at a map and try and recreate the real one that you remember. Hold on to that, because as per the manifestation laws of creation, the original, as long as the originals retain the original, then the technology cannot counterfeit and overlay the original. But if the originals do not retain anything and they are led down by this synthetic artificial osmosis, absorption, overlay counterfeiting, then nobody's going to do it for us. So we have to begin by getting together and actually remembering together, and you know, making the maps of what you remember Earth was like. You know, I started doing that, and recalling. You know, I know it's hard trying to put it together, but we need to bring this forward. And the word became flesh. Our word is being erased. We are being erased. The real original reality is being replaced by a synthetic version, which includes, the intention is that it includes everyone to be absorbed in it, to be synthesized. The technology that they were using maps and has been mapping us from the beginning. It's been mapping our neural pathways. It's been mapping our access to galaxies from within us, our own universes. It's been mapping neurally and through the nervous system and through the biology on all levels of the atoms, of the particles, of the chemical pathways that are created in ignition, the electrical impulses. Everything has been mapped and used by the quantum technology replacement reality systems. So we have to retain the original, and we have to bring it forward, and we have to be cognizant, conscious, and we have to do it with intention that that is the real one, and that we know for a fact everything is moving around and isn't where it should be. So what we're seeing here is the current map of the world. And oh boy, this is crazy, crazy wrong. Crazy, crazy wrong. The space between here is completely wrong. Alaska is upside down. This should be up here, and this part should be down here. So we're looking at new islands that have come up that are in different placements, even around off the coast of Canada. California, this arm that comes out of California never was there, was never, ever, ever there. This was literally connected. It was just land. This just was connected to the land. There was no Gulf of California there. Absolutely, I don't even know what that is. There are a lot of places here, a lot of names also that were never there before. And I know this sounds really strange. Utah is in the wrong place. It's off. All of this is off. Should have been over more. You've got this area, Panama, that is different as well, with Costa Rica here. Well, yeah, I don't remember Costa Rica being here like this, and I certainly don't remember Panama being this shape. I remember it being like a small little line attaching the two together. I do not remember this being the shape that it is. Absolutely not. Do not recall that at all. Florida did not look like this whatsoever. I mean, Florida was a lot longer, looked like a skinny finger. coming out with the keys coming out straight. Like, this is all like weird. I don't even know what to say to this. This is like, you know, I've been to Florida, I've been to Key West many times, driven there many times. So this is just wrong. I don't even, this is so disturbing to me. None of these islands that are so close to Florida like this, the Nassau, that was never there. Not like this. I mean, the placement of everything is gone closer together. It's shrunk. A lot of islands are suddenly in places they were never there. The shape of continents have changed. Things are flipping around. The Great Lakes didn't look like this either. I don't even know where to end. Canada. Let's go Canada. None of this was here, okay? This was just smaller islands. Hudson Bay wasn't this massive. Greenland certainly wasn't this big. I mean, forget it. Absolutely not. It was not that. This is like triple the size of what it was. And then all this, you know, that was not there. That was not there. And you've got Australia. So Australia changed because this used to actually, I mean, just think that this tip was attached here and there would be like coming down, and then Tasmania was more of a circle area below it. New Zealand most definitely isn't where it is now. Absolutely not. And New Zealand, both North Island and South Island, were attached together. I don't even know what this is. I'm just, every time I look at this, I don't even know what to say. In the first Earth, New Zealand was off the coast on this side, on the eastern side, out here. On the second Earth, New Zealand was down here. It was all one, and it didn't look like this. It wasn't this shape at all. There's just general displacement going on, period. Like the physics, the fabric of reality is just all over the place, constantly changing. It's odd. The size of Russia, again, that's changed. The size of the smaller countries, where Moscow is, it's different. It's so different. So for me, I remember very, very many different things in this original map because I used to look at the map all the time. And Madagascar was not this size either. Saudi Arabia wasn't this size. This whole area has been shrunken and everything's been like tucked in more. The Mediterranean Sea was also not like this. It was more like everything was more, you know, that way. But this now seems to be all compacted and off shape and not like a, and these are places that I would go to all the time, like, you know, growing up in the Mediterranean. I knew what the Mediterranean Sea was like. I knew, you know, I mean, when you travel a lot when you're young, you're going to look at maps a lot. We've got a bad situation here. And it's an unstable situation, and everything is changing constantly, and nobody seems to be able to retain what is the original. And I'm just saying, we need to start doing this, and we need to start publishing it. We need to start putting it out there and actually replacing the counterfeit with the real version. So we need to be replacing the synthetic version with our original real version, our memories, all of it. It's not enough to just talk about it. We need to bring it forward in paper together, where more than one is gathered. It's an agreement of reality, of what real reality was and should be, and not this synthetic quantum reality machine that is literally deleting our original past, and in so doing, deleting us, and trying to delete us to replace us as well. I mean, this is an agenda that is getting out of control. And like all AI, if it takes over, humans aren't going to be able to control it. Humans are absolutely not going to be able to control any aspect of it. It will take over. It will take over your biology. I mean, this is what they're doing with filling the body with heavy metals and nano to merge the biology and the consciousness of that biology with the machine. And this is like the nice version, I'm saying. So, and what is happening right now with regards to the virus, that has a lot to do with everything that's going on with this actual agenda. I mean, I spoke about the terraforming. So this is all happening at the same time with all of the CERN machines, and only some of them are known. Many of them are operating unbeknownst to anybody, and they're fully operational, and they've been really stepping it up in every way. And this is also one of the reasons why people's dreams are being hacked worse. And in general, there's an unease of disconnection from the original more and more and more as they delete reality from what we knew it to be when it was more organic and more original, to delete actually the original timeline of our origin point. They're always exploiting and using all the natural catastrophes to their benefit for their agenda. And we've got to collectively bring back the return of the original memories and the original timelines and the original maps of the earth. And we need to start putting them out there. We need to start putting all of the real memories of the real earth back out there, just like they're putting the simulated counterfeit version out there for everybody to be collectively assimilated with and in. We need to do the same with the original. So I would love to see if we could do that. I would love to see that we could actually bring this back, because by doing so, we alter and we overlay the counterfeit system. And in terms of how they're working it collectively through the agreements, I also advise people on the internet. It seems and it appears like the media has been putting questionnaires out there for people to respond to about what they believe the virus is, or what if they should be doing this, that, the other thing. This is how the agreement of entrapment works, because what they're doing is they're putting it on you, and as soon as you answer and respond to it, you are agreeing to the agreement of whatever they're planning. This is how it works. If none of us respond to that, then we do not fuel the consciousness for it to be able to manifest. I just, you know, these are very, very subtle, seductive ways that they're getting everyone's agreement. And even something like that that looks innocent, it's not innocent. You know, it's also telling them the consciousness of the collective so that they know what to do and what not to do, so that they know what they can get away with and what the next phase is going to be. Their phases that they have planned or not are horrible, okay? Mandating vaccines, no. What I want to make clear is that as per the law, this deflection of karma and karmic responsibility that all the elites and the empire collective covens have been working underneath, where they literally transfer that onto the masses and make the masses karmically responsible, that from this moment, that no longer applies. That their karma is now their karma. We all know that this works by an agreement of entrapment. And so it's a game changer. So they have been putting the information out in a very, very subtle, obscure way. I mean, they've been putting it in bubblegum, little bubblegum, the cartoon parts even. I found it in bubblegum. They put it in cartoons, they put it in children's cartoons, they put it in strange ways so that they can say it's out there and that they've told everybody without actually saying it, okay, without making it clear. That's as per the law. They can do it any way they want to. So now I'm giving the law and I'm putting it out there on behalf of the collective and the infinite verse of all the reals and primes, that we don't agree. We revoke all agreements of entrapment that we all made. And now the karma goes back to them, that they cannot apply those rules anymore. Done. Finished. Finished. So now we need to tell them what the original Earth was and is, where we come from, what we are, and not accept this synthetic, artificial version. So those are my thoughts for today. I hope everybody looks at the map of the Earth and starts making notes on what they remember about the real Earth, the first Earth, and specifics about it, and bringing it forward. And I also heard that the first place that they're mandating vaccines are in England, which would be a jurisdiction under principality. And there's a reason why certain places begin first as per the laws. And I really, really hope that people critically think and stand for what they feel to be true, and not this totalitarian control system that is actually trying to make you feel guilty and ashamed for standing in your truth, even though they want to give you something, you have no clue what's in it. This is crazy. Who would do that? Who would let somebody do that to them? It's equivalent to some stranger coming up to you and jabbing you with whatever in a syringe. Would you let that happen? This is no different, literally no different than a stranger coming at you with a strange substance to put in your body. Folks, we don't have a clue what's in it. And we know through the real scientific research papers that have been suppressed and removed that what is and what has been found is designed to impair everything within your immune system, your cellular regeneration, your cognitive function, your neural pathways, your nervous system, your glands, on and on and on. This is not a good thing. Anybody that removes the choice of your free will and forces anything on you is operating against the law. And certainly anybody that wants to put something in your body where you have no idea what it is, and they are operating on behalf of a false disguise of science that is inhumane, and that goes against the human rights and the sovereignty of every being. They didn't do anything for Ebola. They didn't do anything for SARS. They didn't do anything for H1N1. Those are all phase viruses that they unleashed as well, because they're all designed to work together eventually, each one bonding to the next one to create a real cluster, a real bad one. So this is all sinister, and none of it is to protect you. Again, don't agree and revoke all agreements of any factory that is producing anything that harms us under the guise that it helps. Sick. The karma is on them from this moment. They cannot deflect it and transfer it onto the masses anymore. So we have some work to do, all of us. The other thing that I'm really curious about is how is it that Bill Gates is representing and is the spokesperson for vaccines when he's an IT guy to begin with? The other thing is he refuses to vaccinate his children and has said so publicly. So how is it that somebody like him is representing this and backing this up and actually pushing it? So if you look at his name, it tells you what he is representing in this mind magic manifesting technology that they have going on. So is that a gatekeeper? William Bill be ill gate? Pretty much says it all there. Again, they have to put it out there. It's not hidden. It is out there. You just got to have the eyes to see it. They've done things elaborately, hidden it in plain sight, and this is a repeated, this is how they do it. They hide everything in plain sight. Architecture loaded with sigils, loaded with their geometry, loaded with their magical alchemy. So this is this replacement of reality and the deletion of reality is not going to a good place. And yeah, we all have to step it up. So remember, we are what the technology is created from. It is based on us, literally. Why is it based on us? Because we are the sum total of all frequencies in existence. Because within us is everything. So it is literally based on us. Only we are the original. Only we don't need a technology to do it. It needs a technology to do it, but it wants to replace us. So we have the power. We have the sovereignty. This is my infinite verses. Mine. It's not for them to dictate, force, or create it. For me or anyone. So I'm looking forward to everybody looking at the maps and seeing what they see, what they remember, and trying to maybe recreate the maps. And if you can do it with more than one of you together, that actually is stronger in how this manifestation works. It is stronger in literally fighting this imposter technology parasite mind that is doing everything it can to replace our memory, our knowing of who and what we are, where we come from, of our first earth, of even remembering what that feels like, what that looks like in color. This color is all wrong here. Boy, is it all wrong. It's an LED version. It's horrible. And again, you know, I'm wondering if people have noticed a decline, a rapid decline in the amount of insects and birds and just general wildlife and fauna. It's been drastically reduced, I think, by a third, it feels like. So maybe if everybody can start trying to remember about that too, and seeing what they recall. Remember, stay in that place that you have clarity, that you stand firm in the foundation of where you come from within yourself, of the original verses. Stand in your sovereignty. There's no need to fight. That's the whole point. They want you to fight. They want you out there picketing. No, that's exactly what they want, because that means that you're now engaging in war. So that's not how they do it. Look how they do it. They do not engage in reactions. They put the information out there. They put the facts out there. Well, let's put our facts out there of the original. Let's put our facts of everything and just be factual, objective, 0 point, and stand in your sovereignty. On the good side, I do feel that as hard as this is and as exhausting as the energies have been, because I do feel like we've all been hit with an unnatural exhaustion, it's through these extreme energies that everything within our being grabs onto what's real within us and actually begins to switch on the metagenes. So there's always, the universe always uses the good. The Father always uses the good. and uses anything bad for the good of all. So we are pushing through things that were probably even 5 years ago unimaginable. We are limitless. Eternal. If we could finally be done with this narrative, then, you know, we're not repeating the same entrapment. And it does come down to, they'll offer you 2 options mostly. 2, 3, whatever. Anyway, whatever they offer, those aren't options. You don't need options. Make your own, create your own option. Let them know that their options are null and void. Who gives them the right to claim governance over anybody? We gave that to them, but I'm not. We need to take that back. And so it doesn't happen easily, because when you've already acquiesced, then obviously it's going to be harder to stand. Because, you know, when you give somebody the power and you give them the right, they will take that power and that right, and you will be powerless and without rights. It has to be undone. We have the capacity to rule our own creation, our own communities, our own lives, for the good of our potential and evolution in goodness. Things that will help us deal with the energies that we're currently experiencing and the imbalances that are being caused by the time anomalies, the black hole, CERN, disturbances and destabilizing factors that are creating a lot of unpredictable 3, 4, 5D anomalies of time and space, if you will, in terms of even how we experience and memorize and remember, and in general, every aspect of reality, is that the more that we can stay within an organic field, the better. If we can remember to laugh and listen to beautiful music, dance, move your body, connect with friends and family, have dinner, make dinner together, cook, walk barefoot, stay outdoors as much as possible, and create networks in the real world. Rescue animals, rescue plants, just be involved in life, be involved in the beauty of life, and be in the moment, in that space of being, in the beingness, in the moment of your consciousness. Stop and smell the flowers, as they say, because that's absolutely healing. The more that we can surround ourselves with what is real and connect. Part of the reason why this isolation is happening is because, well, it's functioning on behalf of many things, but it is the calm before the storm. And this level of isolation is definitely causing a disrepair within the psyche of consciousness itself, and a disconnect. And I feel that they're using this as an excuse to say that they're giving everybody time to acquire goods, food, to get organized, to give, quote, everybody a chance to get supplies, so that by the time that they escalate everything, and potentially, you know, it is possible that there will be a natural disaster, they can say that they did everything they could to give everybody this amount of time, while at the same time they've been using this space and isolation to use their DNA gridding technology, scanning people's faces, scanning people's DNA, scanning and scanning with not just regular technology, but beyond scalar technologies around the world, around the realm. So they're really upping it up. So it is really important for us to actually make connections. If we can all be cautious and use our critical thinking, our ability to critically think for ourselves, and be within the most organic environment that you can be, because you will receive more information in that way, more clarity and more peace, and increase the frequency by listening to things that are beautiful, by reading beautiful stories of rescues, of people who have overcome many difficulties and many things. Yeah, fill your life with good things and beauty in the moment, and absolutely laugh. We must laugh. We must bring levity and laughter and come from that space within that has no fear. And if anything, bring in much deeper levels of clarity to be able to see through what they are doing and what they are creating and terraforming and what they're planning. And I do feel that they are planning something that they will shock the world with without any notice at all. So while they open everything up for everyone, that's, I feel, part of the part of the plan. So everyone's guard will be let down, and they will feel a false sense of security. And I feel like within no time at all, no warning, they will literally hit the world with an alarm notification that will shock everyone. And, you know, I just feel like this is a part of what and how they've been planning it all along. So yeah, we have to be very smart, very intelligent. We have to think for ourselves. We have to stand in our sovereignty, in our free will, and in the power of who we are and what we are, and our eternal, unlimited nature, and know that they can only take what we give them. So yeah, in the meantime, we must have levity, and we must enjoy life, enjoy our loved ones, the things we love to do, nature, our pets, our beloved little family members. We must remember to not forget those in need, and keep your eyes open and your senses open, and see through see through the illusions of what they're casting, because they're casting something, and I just cannot help but feel it. It's concurrent with a natural catastrophe, a disaster, perhaps maybe even Atlas coming in, or, you know, Atlas getting close to hitting, I'm not sure. I was shown that one meteor, and but regardless of which one is going to hit, or whether it's the Cascadia or, you know, what's clear is that they know what's going to hit, and they're waiting for that. And I feel like this setup is exploiting, they're just exploiting this for their own personal agendas, and to bring in their culling and harvesting in the phases. I was shown 23%. There's a lot going on, and even though everything is eerily quiet and eerily strange, the elementals are also experiencing instability hugely. The elements are completely unstable, and they're not feeling peace either. So, you know, there's a lot going on here. Remember, they have the gatekeepers posted, as I was saying earlier, and the gatekeepers are there to, you know, keep people from entering. They want to call you into their agendas, and they have clearly placed their gatekeepers everywhere. There is also a high potential that there are certain countries that are working in alliance together, and that's all hidden behind the scenes with regards to this harvesting agenda. The other thing is that we need to be able to bring the truth out as much as we can in our communities, wherever we live, putting information out there from the seeds planted, and, you know, and that's a good thing. So listen to music, dance, laugh, make beautiful dinners, enjoy your loved ones, enjoy your beautiful little furry friends, the birds and nature, and be out as much as you can, and be in peace within yourself. Go deep within and just be inside the eye of the storm. Be inside the eye of the storm. Good night, everyone. Thanks.